Hello everyone, so welcome back. Today it's a continuation for the last time. So we just hammered the stakes in, and we're going to put on the support wire. There's not much more to do now. You've just seen a picture of all the stuff that we need. So the galvanised wire and the actual and the staple. How do I say it? The staple holders, if that makes sense, the wire holders, the brackets, if you like, for each end. You've seen the pliers. The pliers should have a wire cutting mechanism. Most pliers do, so that's not a problem. And of course, cable ties. Now, cable ties act a little bit like braces for these trees. This one is right the way down. I don't know if you can see this branch here, but he is right the way down, so he should not be at the bottom there. If you can see that, those branches there, they're touching each other. That should not happen. This branch should be up here. He's not, which is a bit of a problem. However, I'm not worrying because we can brace them up and get them all looking good. So again, we're going to use 4 of these. So this has taken about a packet of these, to be honest. These hooks, but don't worry because these were £5, so they are. They're not the cheapest things in the world, but once you bought them, you bought them. So. Cool. I'm going to put a few of these in. You just want to hammer them in first, and then use the pliers, then use your hands, and then use the pliers if you need to. But, actually, this end will probably be easiest. Put a wire in. When you're looking at this, you want to look at your wires, where the wire will go in, and kind of how the wire is going to go in there. If that makes sense. So, how much wire you're going to need, all of that stuff. It's not rocket science, because I can do it. But, right, so I'm going to put that there. So wire will go through the bottom of this. Because we don't want this one any higher. We want that one higher, but that's fine. So there. You can see this. Try not to split the stake. That would be try and get it central. That's right. Right, there we go. That's in, and then I'm just going to twist round with the actual. So just use your hands for this. As it gets in there, switch over and use the pliers. These pliers are so useful, like honestly. This multi-purpose general pliers, you don't get anything fancy, but most of them will have this wire cutting mechanism here, which is very handy. Don't mind the tree, just do that. And this one we want to put in quite far, really. So we want to put it right in there. We're going to do it until the metal pokes out the end, if that makes sense. So until the hook is right the way out the other end. Perfect. So, now that the hook is out the other end, I'm just going to take the hammer and just clean that side off. That will make sure that it doesn't pull out again. It shouldn't do, and it wouldn't do, but you might as well take it off. It's a bit of a, you won't want to catch your arm on it as you're walking past. That would be quite painful, and it's just making a tidy job out of the situation. So there we go, that stake is nicely in there with the hook through. Now we're going to take the galvanised wire. We'll have a left wire pliers on. There we go. So, take the wire and simply put the wire through one end of the, so put it through that hook there, and that will run it through, and that will give you an indication where to put the second hook, because you want to keep them at the same height, obviously. That wouldn't be too good if you had them at different heights. One side would be higher than the other. You could do that actually. You could, if you, I mean, I'm very tempted here to try and perhaps bring this wire a little further down to this stake, put another hook in, and then do this one at a separate height, so that I am specifically training this one branch. I'm not training the whole thing, I'm just focusing on this one branch at a certain height with the cable ties. You can do that, that works. I think it's nicer to have it all done on one set, if that makes sense, all on one wire, than have separate. It looks nicer, and it doesn't really, it will take a little bit longer to train, particularly this branch, because it's so low down. It doesn't help that the previous owner of the allotment has cut the what they've done is they've polled it here, which is fine at this point, to stop it getting any taller, and then they haven't let it sprout from this side. So what's happened here is a bit of new growth has come through on this side to form this branch. That's brilliant. But they haven't allowed that to happen here. They've simply used one of the further down branches and the second one. That's not good. So this will always be lower down no matter what we do. But hopefully by putting on the cable ties, you can brace it up, get it all looking good. So that middle stake is in the way, but I'm not too worried. I'm going to put it tight, make sure that is pulled nice and tight. And we want to try and look for the ideal height. What's that catch on? Again, that's fine. And you sort of tweak it until you find the height that you're happy with. So for me, I think about here is fairly good standard height for the whole lot. I'm just, what you don't want to do is put it too high, because it will look lopsided, and you also don't want to be doing the tree more harm than good by putting it too low down. I think that's fine, and we can always tweak it when we actually put the hooks in. Right, I will just cut that there. You will have a lot of wire left over, but it's always handy, bits and pieces. You can always cut little lengths off and use it as, so if you've got tomatoes growing, you can tie the tomato to the canes. Equally with beans, they're quite useful for that sort of thing, using them as ties for various different reasons. hooks again, I've got a few in my pocket. Take one out. Now you will want to do the bottom set as well. I'm not going to show you that because you've already seen the top set. Just repeat it. The hooks go in to the timber, come out the other side. This part here is cut off. I say cut off. It's bent down flush with the timber, and then you simply apply your wire, tie it onto here, work out an average height, and then tie the wire onto this hook as well. Very, very simple. If the wire isn't tight, you've got a problem with it coming loose. The branches, this wire will sag as you put the braces on. I say the braces, the cable ties that are going to act like a brace. When you put the cable ties on, the wire will actually sag. Nice and tight, sharp, durable, and create some tension in there. It's not high tensile wire or anything like that. It's just normal, I'm assuming mild steel or something. But yeah, so that is a decent-ish height. It's a slight slope, but because these are solo down, well, this one is solo down, it's going to take a little. It will take a few years to retrain. I'm not too worried about that though. And then, again, screw it in with your hands, just keep working until you get right in there, and then if you can't, sometimes you can do it right the way through with your hands, but to be honest with you, it's a lot easier with the pliers, and there you go, it's as simple as that, not very difficult. There we go, so that's the bit there. Get that nice and level. Cool. Again, if you missed it the first time, which hopefully you just move the camera along a little bit.